What up, y'all? I'm here. 8:30 on the dot. Big Gans, I'm here. The name of the channel, the name of this channel is Keeping It Gangster. Word up. I'm here. Let's go. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of chatter in the travel space going on right now about dudes on YouTube begging, asking for cash apps, asking for donations so they could travel overseas and whatever. But before we get into that, let me talk about this channel a little bit. This channel, Keeping It Gangster, I'm going to talk about everything. There's no holds barred on this channel. So we're going to go from everything from travel to ABWs. I'm going to get on them. Dudes do dumb shit. I'm going to get on them. I'm going to talk about all the dumb shit that's going on out here in these streets. Word up. So tonight, it's you begging ass travelers. You're the ones that's going to set this channel off tonight. And I have no problem naming names. You know what I'm saying? I really don't give a fuck. That's what it's about over here on this channel, Keeping It Gangster. We gives no fucks. I'm waiting for my partner, Mr. D, to pull up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. Mentuition, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? If you want to pull up, add to the chat, add to the topic, you can. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can drop the link. I don't go live all the time, so you got to give me a second. And this is a new phone. The whole StreamYard is set up different on this phone. This is the Galaxy S24. The StreamYard is set up different on this phone than it was on my Z Fold. So, you gotta give me a second to figure that out. I thought I had figured it out when I went live on the other joint. Okay, here we go. There's a link. Hit the link. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy Bo Rates, he went viral with his comments. I didn't really watch and listen for what he said, but everybody knows when I pull up on these different panels, I've been talking the same shit for months. If you ain't got your shit together, if your money ain't right, you shouldn't be traveling overseas. You know what I'm saying? You need to get your shit right, get your bills in order, get your priorities in order before you hop on a plane. You shouldn't be coming on here, yo, hit the Cash App, hit the super chat so I can go get some pussy. Come on, man. You sound like a fucking idiot. You sound like a straight fucking idiot. Know what I'm saying? But honestly, it goes to show me that back here in the States on a regular basis, you don't get no chicks. You know what I'm saying? You not getting no ass. If you gotta, okay, I understand, you know, you want to run to Sasua, you want to run to Colombia, Brazil, all these different places and get it popping. I understand that. I get that. But to beg for super chats and all that stuff, support me so I can go down there and clap some cheeks. Come on, man. That's nasty work right there. Let's talk about it. Let's see, who we bringing up here? International Al.
What up,
Mr.
Gaines?
What's
What's
going
goody?
on? What's going on?
Not too much, not too much. Wanted to pop up. Always like to support your channel. I don't think I'm subscribed on this one, so I'm definitely gonna subscribe
I
on
had
that
this I had this channel. It was just sitting in the background. And you know
one.
what I'm
Okay,
saying? I knew I knew what I was gonna do with the channel, but I was waiting for the proper time to set it off. And
okay.
with with uh when Mr. Bo Race, when he went viral with his shit, I said ain't no better time than the present. Because like I just said before, he didn't say nothing that I was saying. B Dub was saying, y'all know B Dub was cracking on niggas about that shit.
Yeah. What I'll say about it is, I don't know. I don't. I'll say this. I wouldn't necessarily do things the way some of these other travelers that are quote unquote e-begging. I think one, we got to define what e-begging is, and too many people in the space are just calling things that they're not. They're using incorrect definitions. But what I'll say about the whole e-begging situation is, you know, I know Rello's name got brought up. Some other people got brought up. Me personally, I think Rello actually has a following of people. They say that they just want to see him crash out, but they're really entertained by his content. And I think there's a place in the travel space for Rello. Um, what I'll say is I wouldn't do things necessarily that way. I wouldn't, you know, that's too like I can't go on a trip and not have enough money and not have my finances in order and you know, not have plenty of extra money just in case something happens. I can't travel like that. But, you know, I'm not going to knock him for doing it. And I don't necessarily think that it's e-begging for him specifically. I don't know about some of these other channels. I don't really follow them all like that. But I don't think it's e-begging because he personally has a following of people that want to see him doing the stuff that he's doing. And I'll also
Okay.
say this. He's made the fundraiser popular, and now a lot of other YouTubers are doing it.
Right.
So that's my unbiased opinion. Do I agree with it, with the way he does things? You know, I wouldn't do things necessarily like that, but I also can't, you know, if that's how he does it, and if his people support, he's not holding a gun to their head. If he, you know, if his people really want to see that stuff, then how could I be mad at that?
Okay. Now let me tell you the reason. Okay, Mr. Bo Race, he went viral just a
Mm-hmm.
couple days ago, right? And
Yep.
then it just so happened that I have a situation with a guy who wants to come with us to our
Mm-hmm.
DR on our DR trip, right? And I already told Mr. D about this. We spoke on the phone about it, but I'm gonna let it all out. Like I said, I'm no holds barred with this, right? So we've been planning this trip since March of
Mm-hmm.
this year, right? After we went there in February. We went to check out some different villas that we wanted to stay in, and you know, I saw them firsthand. So we said, okay, we're gonna do this. The villa's quite expensive. You know what I'm saying? It's not a game with this villa, right?
Yeah.
So I invited some people. I invited a friend of mine that I grew up with. Me and him go back to the Sandbox. You know what I'm saying? He's been wanting to travel overseas. He hit me up a while. I mean, he was in the Navy, so he did it that way. But you know, outside of the military, he never did it. So he hit me up, and I said, "Yeah, let's do this." Right? Got his passport. He's ready to rock.
Mm-hmm.
He in turn hollers at another cat that we grew up with. Now, I had regular dealings with this dude, you know what I'm saying? Try to hook him up in different situations or whatever, you know, whatever his situation was, I'm not going to put that out there. But I know for a fact that his funds aren't right for this particular trip. And let's get this straight from the jump. I've been doing Sasua for 13 going on 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
When Flip Flop first went, I first went. You know,
Okay.
Flip, he pushed it back a little bit. He say 2008. If I recollect correctly, it was 2010, but that's neither here nor there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it goes to show that I've been doing it just as long as him, right? So I know Sosua backwards and forwards. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody on YouTube in this travel space. Maybe one or two people. I think I can't remember his name right offhand, but he's a moderator on Razor's channel. So maybe
Okay.
one or two people been doing it as long as me. But I'm gonna be honest with you, nobody on YouTube other than Flip Flop, nobody's been doing it. You know, as long I've been doing it just as long as him. Let's just put it like that. So, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I know it back. I know it backwards and forwards, right?
Yep.
Now, you have different properties in Sosua, which are high end. Hispaniola Beach, Ocean Village. What's the one on top of the hill? Agua Dulce and Casa Linda. And there's a couple more that are pretty high end. I haven't stayed at them. And then you got your lower end stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if your funds aren't right, okay, you stay down there. But let me tell you, Hispaniola, Ocean Village, Casa Linda, these places are not cheap. You know what I'm saying? You got some lower end villas on the property, but everybody that goes in groups, they go for the high end mansion, right? And that's how we rock. I stayed when I first started going for the dudes who was going to Sosua back in the early 2000s. We used to stay at a spot called what was the name of that spot? I just had it on the top of my head. Villa Chaser, right? You could get Villa Chaser for $30, between $30 and $60 a night. You know what I'm saying? So when you first starting out, you stay in places like that. And as your money gets better, your stay gets better. Your lodging and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You level up.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's Sosua, it's different levels to it. So I don't want everybody, oh, it's Sosua, blah, blah, blah. It's cheap travel, it's third. Listen, Sosua by no means, it can be cheap, but it can be expensive too. Know what I'm saying? So back to the story with this dude. I know his money isn't right. It's not ready for this trip. You know what I'm saying? But he came to me. He was like, yo, I'm kind of upset. You didn't give me an invite, your retirement party, blah, you do. I'm kind of feeling some kind of way about that. I said, listen, honestly, I didn't think you was ready for this trip. You know what I'm saying? I know, you got one or two situations going on, and I honestly don't think that your money is right for this trip. He was like, yo, I got $500 in my pocket right now as a deposit. Okay, I said, okay, we taking $500 as a deposit. You know what I'm saying? He said, I got it in my pocket right now. So he gives me the money. So I said, listen, I'm going to put this $500 in my dresser drawer for a month. So if you back out, you can get this $500 back. You know what I'm saying? So I was giving him a month to mull it over and think about it. But when I call you for that next deposit, that $500 is going off and you lost it. You know what I'm saying? Once you give me that next deposit, that means you locked in that original deposit, that first $500, that's gone. You lost it, no matter what your situation is. If you say, listen, I can't go, I had a death in the family. Oh, listen, we understand situations like that. We try and be, but this $500, that shit is gone because that shit is set this whole trip up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, long story short, so far I think he's given me $1,500. Still has to give me his airfare. Still got to give me one last payment on the house. I speak to him. He's like, oh, my money's running short. Blah, 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 this, that, and the third. I said, listen, I told you months ago that I don't think you're ready to go on this trip. You need to get your priorities in order. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna make it, blah, blah, blah. Right? So the other night, while Sim was live, I'm over at my cousin's house, we drinking, we watching the fight, we lit. I go on Sim's live talking a bunch of shit. But that's either here nor right? So anyway, my cousin says, yo, get that dude on the phone right now. All right. I get him on the phone. My cousin is not as easygoing as me. He gets aggravated very, very quick. Right? So we get him on the phone. My cousin's telling him, listen, we got to send this money off. We already missed the deadline by 2, is going on 3 weeks right now. You know what I'm saying? We waiting on your money, you holding things up, right? Oh, I could do it, just hold me down. But my cousin said, listen, no holding down nothing. He said, yo, you got till Saturday to put this money up. If your money's not in by Saturday, you out. We already got somebody that want to take your spot, right? So my cousin told him straight up, that's what it is. So I spoke to him. I said, listen, you heard what my cousin said. This is what it is. This is business. We not playing no games, because now if you mess up, now I got to ask everybody else to put in your portion to make up, because you couldn't get your shit right. And I told you from the jump that I didn't think that you was ready to make this trip. So all in all, he got to give me $500 towards a house. He got to give me another between $500 and $600 for his flight, right? Which I haven't booked his flight yet. I haven't booked his flight yet because he hasn't put down the last deposit on the house, right? And then he has to put up $250 for food shopping and another $250 for our cooks. You know what I'm saying? And we still got car rentals. So that's going to be another $150 that he got to come up out of pocket with. So yes, it's an expensive trip because we got one of the top houses in Hispaniola, brand new house, rooftop jacuzzi, all that. Mr. D, when you see it, you're going to be like, oh shit, there's some shit right here. Right? So yeah, it's an expensive trip. We went all out on this. So honestly, this is what made me jump on, start this live today, because of what Bo Rake said the other day, and then what I'm dealing with over here. So what I'm saying is, if your shit ain't right, if your money's not right, if your priorities aren't in order, you shouldn't be taking these type of trips. You feel what I'm saying?
I agree 100%. I'll just say this real quick, and I'll salute to the rest of the panel. I don't want to be hogging the panel or anything, but I agree 100%, with you. I don't think you should be traveling if your money's not right. But not only your money not right, like, okay, he still gives you 500 for the house, another 600, that's 1100, and then another, like, let's say 1500 total he owes you. All right, cool. How much is he gonna need for the ladies? How much is he gonna need to have fun? How much is he gonna need as an emergency fund in case anything happens? Let's say he gets, one of the chicas, God forbid this happen, but what if somebody takes your wallet or something happens? How are you gonna get back home? So you got to be traveling with plenty of money, extra money. You got to have that what if. When I was over in Lima, the dude that I was with, he ended up getting some stuff stolen from him. He had a chica over. He got some stuff stolen from him. I had to help him get everything back together, but this dude was prepared. I mean, he got his stuff taken, but he was still pretty prepared in the grand scheme of things, because he had some ways to stop her from taking all of using his credit cards. He had some backup plans in place. He lost his cell phones and everything, but he had cash on him. He was prepared. He had his passport stashed somewhere else, so he was in good shape. But yeah, I mean, this traveling shit is not cheap. It is tough, especially if you're doing YouTube. You got to come back with some content. All that stuff takes a lot of hard work. I understand people supporting to these channels, and if that's what they want to see, who am I to say that it's right or wrong? What his subs want to see is right or wrong. All I can say is I wouldn't travel like that. I don't encourage other people to travel like that. But I'm also not going to be the one to, you know, I don't even think Bo was necessarily hating. I think the most hateful thing he said was the part where he said you would take dick. But I don't even think that was. I think he was just. I think that was kind of like some troll shit. Like, and that's his opinion. But I think Rello needs to not care so much about what people say. And it's easier said than done. I'm guilty of it too. But I think, if that's his opinion, if that's what Bo thinks, cool. That's his opinion. Don't get all bent out of shape over his opinion. That's his opinion. And
Well,
he wasn't saying it to you personally.
he shouldn't get bent out of shape, because I talked about him before. B Dub talked about him before, and I sent B Dub the link to his Instagram. I wish somebody would get in touch with him and tell him to pull up, but it is what it is. But go ahead.
No, you're good, man. I gotta take a phone call real quick, so I'm gonna let you guys rock out.
Go ahead, Mr. D. What's good with you?
I'm gonna pass it over to Player with a Mic, because it's been a minute. We ain't see or heard from this brother.
Word. What's going on?
Hey man, I just got a contract, man, that I signed, man, with an oil company, man. I got a direct contract with an oil company, man. So they've been keeping me busy. You know what I'm saying?
Congrats.
Yeah, hey man, real talk, man. I show y'all a different side of me, man. It it's a lot of hard work, man. You know what I'm saying, to make shit happen and to get ahead and to fight. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that dog in you. You got to have that dog in you, man. And I've been working hard to get this contract with this oil company, man. And when I got it, man, on the real, they got damn near cried, man. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just been hustling, man, on my grind, man. But shit, as far as these dudes, man, doing the begging shit, I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with what Al was saying. You know what I'm saying? Um, the cats, the J Rellos, he got an audience for that. You know what I mean? He got an audience for that. But you also got cats they just straight up begging. You know what I mean? Because they traveling and they funds ain't right. And when you traveling, man, you supposed to have backup on top of backup on top of backup on top of backup finances. Because you never know what happened. You know? I remember I was in Medellin, I lost my American Express card. Thankfully, I had a G unit in cash at the crib, and the American Express, if you're a platinum member, man, you're gonna get some services that maybe other people don't get, right? So while I was waiting on them to send me another card, boom, they sent me another foe through Western Union. You know what I mean? So cats gotta have all they T's crossed and all they I's dotted when they traveling, because traveling, it ain't a cheap thing, and too many people are trying to impress other men, homeboy. They trying to impress other men. Big games, you say, hey man, niggas gotta prioritize, man. If you in the States, man, and you gotta hustle and you gotta grind, man, then that's what you got to do. You ain't got to worry about what Mr. D think or what Big Games think or what International Al think. Man, you got to get you. And so overall, cats got to get their paper up, homie. When I'm out the country, ain't nothing off the table for me. You understand? I don't leave nothing on the table. I can do absolutely anything I want to do. When I go out the country, I go with that kind of bread. I understand people on budgets. I get that. But man, if you gotta work an extra 4 months or whatever it is that you're doing to get that extra on top of the extra on top of the extra, that's what you got to do. But believe me, homie, when I'm out the country, ain't nothing off the table. Like I think Kanye West said, I'm a land it here. Kanye West, when he got his billionaire status, he was popping off talking shit, and he said, man, I'm completely free. He said, man, my finances are so intact. He said, man, ain't nobody felt this kind of freedom. He said, I can do what I want, I can say what I want whenever I want, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. When you go out the country, my personal opinion, I understand if people are on a budget, hey, no problem with that. But when I go out the country, I'm free, homie. I'm financially free. I ain't if I want it, it's got.
And it's like this too. Let me say this real quick. Not only do you have to have an emergency fund on top of an emergency fund on top of an emergency fund, you have to have funds set aside at home in case something
Yeah.
goes awry at home. I remember one time.
Woo!
I remember one
Yeah.
time I was overseas. Right. This was years ago. My lady called me up. She said the water heater bust. Okay, I got 5Gs. She didn't know I had this money tucked away. I told her where it was. I said, yo, I got 5Gs tucked in the closet. It's over here. Go down to Home Depot, call Jonathan, give him the money, go down to Home Depot, get the water heater, have him install it. Because you never know what's gonna arise while you away. You know what I'm saying? Not just listen, there was no reason. Listen, I get on the plane. Not get on the plane, but I go to the airport. Oh, Mr. G, your flight is we got a situation with your flight. You know what I'm saying? Blah, you gotta change your flight. It's $100 change fee. Oh, I ain't got $100 cash in my pocket. Boom, here, put this on that American Express card.
Right. Right. Check this out, gangs. I so before the like right when the pandemic hit, right? I'm down in Bogota, right?
Right.
I came back to the States. I was back in the States for 2 days. They closed the borders. Nobody
Mm.
flying in, nobody flying out. I go from, I work in the oil field. I go from like 160 hours a week. And I ain't talking about working 160. I might bill for 160, but I may have worked, excuse me, I may have worked 70. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I go from billing 140 to 170 hours a week to coming back billing for 34 hours. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I had my bread right. Right? A lot of cats man was falling off the ladder, man, because they ain't take care of their paper. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you 100% right, man. You got to have your shit right in the States while you traveling, and you got to have your shit right while you traveling.
You know
Your
how many
travel
people
paper.
were stuck overseas during the
Oh yeah,
pandemic when Trump shut those borders down?
yeah. My homeboy got
That's
stuck
crazy.
in Medellin. Yep, and they was on a real lockdown too.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I know New York, y'all was up on a real lockdown. I live in Florida. You know what I mean? We was wide open. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
New York was locked straight. If you didn't work for the city, you couldn't come outside.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Mr. D, you already know. You know what we was going through.
Yeah, yeah. That's why when I traveled to Texas when I was in Houston, I was loving it because they was just like Florida. They didn't give two nickels and a dime on what was going on. They was doing what they wanted to do.
Right. You used to live in
You know what I'm
Houston?
saying? No, 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 no. I was
Okay.
traveling there a lot. You know
Okay.
what I'm
All right.
saying?
All right.
Because
I used to live out there.
I, I was either in Houston or Georgia.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like I was going
Yeah.
back and forth. I should have been flying back and forth from Colombia to the United States during that time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Oh yeah. The flights was
so
beautiful during the pandemic. You know what I mean?
during the pandemic, let me tell you something. I went to Vegas for $98 round trip.
Right. Right.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm
That's what I'm
saying?
talking about. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what? That
Yeah.
6 hour flight from New York? Like, come on. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. As far as the topic at hand, I've had this conversation with Gans and Al, outside of YouTube and stuff. Um, my opinion on it, you know what I'm saying? I really don't, to be honest with you, the subject is to me is like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I believe Bo Ranks, uh, he was like incognito mode for a while. So nobody really, I think from what I understand, he was in Guam. So he
Yeah.
wasn't putting out no content. So he comes out with this video and, goes straight for the jugular. You know what I'm saying? Messing with the e-beggars or whatever kind of beggars you want to call them, fundraisers. You know what I'm saying? So I think for him, he wanted to gain some type of relevance. You know what I'm saying? Troll a little bit, boast a little bit, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And if anybody got offended by it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta grab your nuts, man. Like, come on. That's manhood. You know what I'm saying? You're not worried about what other people say, do, think, or whatever. Only
Facts.
person you should be focusing on is yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as the whole e-begging and all that other stuff with this YouTube travel space, however you get your bread, you get your bread. You know what I'm saying? If people are willing to support you and you begging them for the bread to go to these places, even if it's just to pay for your Airbnb airfare and leave you with, enough pocket change to buy something to eat, then by all means do you. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't focusing on nobody's pockets. You know what I'm saying? These supporters, see, I can look at the content creators and say, you foolish for doing that. But at the end of the day, you have supporters like
That's
Al
supporting it.
said earlier, yeah, that are
Yeah.
willing to see you either crash and burn or they just entertained by your silliness. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, and another thing, you know who's who by the product they put out. You know what I'm saying? You see different levels in this travel space by the product they put out. Great editing, great IRL streams, great vlogs, content. Most of these people that's doing this begging is just sitting on the phone, you know, threatening their supporters, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
throwing these fake fundraisers like, yo, you gotta really support the channel. You know what I'm saying? And then, a couple of people, was trying to categorize other people in the space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This fool the other night was trying to come at my team Intuition. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
These guys, let me tell you something. I met Al and I speak to Al personally.
Yeah.
I don't need to be on a panel to speak to Al. Okay? I've hung out with this brother. Thorough. Real dude. You know what I'm saying? He ain't faking it for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes, Mentuition is thorough. You know what I'm saying? Dude tried to say, oh, you was e-bagging. Oh, I got the receipts. You got the receipts of what? They said donate to something. They wasn't begging. They still went to Brazil on their
Right.
own dime. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? With the money that was contributed, they asked the supporters, the subscribers, well, we can't do X, Y, and Z, but how about this? All right, do that. And what did they do? They did the yacht party. And anybody that was watching, if you put comparisons of their yacht party versus F and even Skylar, come on, it hands down, they beat them out, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like Al said earlier, you got to define what is this e-begging. You know what I'm saying? Who came up with that? Who coined that term? Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like I said, why are we paying attention to people's pockets? You know what I'm saying? I told Gaines, I said, listen, I said, Gaines, I know how you give it up. You've been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? Gans don't have to do the channel. Gans don't have to do none of this. He don't have to do the bike channel, this channel, none of that. He could just go ahead and travel, do what he do. He earned that right. Myself,
Right.
I'm not a YouTube content creator. Yeah, I got a couple of shorts, whatever, little 700 views viral moment, but this, this ain't my lane. You know what I'm saying? I'll come in on a panel or two or be in the chat or whatever the case may be. This ain't my lane. Play it with a passport. You know what I'm saying? You running the oil fields. You know what I'm saying? You own almost 3/4 of Colombia by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, but Al, Steve, they Mentuition. They got the vlogs. They got the live stream. They do IRLs. This is their lane. You know what I'm saying? And the product speaks for itself. So I wouldn't call what Bo did hating. I would call it more of a troll and trying to become relevant again, which he accomplished that, because here we are on Keeping It Gangster talking about beggars. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Get your bag how you get it, but just know, support the product that you gain the most from. That's all I say.
Right. Let me say this real quick, Mr. D. I think also, man, that a lot of travelers and content creators like this gentleman y'all talking about, I don't really know him, they don't understand the difference between maximizing the dollar and being cheap. You understand? Like there's a difference when you can go to somewhere like Brazil or Colombia or Mexico or Poland or Germany and you maximize your dollar for a better quality of life. That's different than catch being cheap travelers. You understand? Like the goal ain't to be a cheap traveler. That's what these cats don't be understanding. The goal ain't to be a cheap traveler. The goal is to take this money, convert it to whatever currency that is, and benefit from the transition of the currency, which is going to allow you a better quality of life, a better quality travel, right? A better quality travel experience, because your dollar just went 3-4x, right? But these cats, they don't understand that shit, homie, right? That's why I see them in Colombia eating empanadas. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with no empanada. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with the arepas. You know what I mean? But homie, your dollar just did 3-4 times. Go enjoy what that dollar was able to make you do.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. I want to say I appreciate Gaines having me on, and Mr. D just showing love all the time, supporting everybody.
I've been seeing y'all hustling too, man. Mentuition. Don't get it twisted, nigga. Just because I ain't come on the panels, I just been rocking with my man's, Ronan and them, man. But nigga, don't get it twisted. I see y'all hustling, nigga. I see y'all.
We appreciate you too, man. You've been supporting the channel, man. We had to go hard. We had to go hard on my channel, but
yeah, man. I was sad to see, man, where y'all got shut off like that, man. But y'all got y'all own lane, man, and y'all, like I said, y'all niggas is dropping heavy, so y'all definitely hustling, man. Can't nobody really tell me shit about Mentuition. You know what I'm saying? I don't know crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody come at me, little man, nigga. Come on, bro. Hey, these niggas is hustling. They might be a whole bunch. They can be a whole lot of things, but they don't say they ain't no hustlers.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Gaines too, man. That's what's up too. As far as you doing that for the dude, you knew that he wasn't ready, even though he said he was ready. That's super dope that you still, even gave him that opportunity to even try to make it. Even though he couldn't at the end of the day. And I understand y'all got to put the deposit in. Y'all got people to pay. They ain't waiting. So I understand that too. But at least you gave him, he said he was ready. You could have just, all right, this money, he's not getting it back no matter what now. Nah, you gave him a month. You probably wasn't even a hard set on that 30 days. It was just right before he made that other payment. So that's what's up. That's what's up.
Right.
Even though he couldn't make it, that's still what's up.
Well, we'll see. He got until Saturday. But like I said, I mean, what you gonna do? Okay, you're gonna need at least 1,500 to 2 G's out there to be decent. Know what I'm saying? 1,500 for 10 days, 11. We're gonna be out there 11 days. 1,500 for 11 days. That's kind of a stretch. I would say more like 2 G's. You know what I'm saying? So because the way we do things, we're not eating out every night. See what the way a lot of these cats is moving, they staying in Sasua Inn, they staying in Terra Linda, they staying in what's that other rat trap over there? New Garden. They staying in these places, even though New Garden giving you free breakfast every morning. I give them that, but it's still a fucking rat trap. You know what I'm saying? But you eating out every day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you staying in Sasua Inn, 9 times out of 10, you eating your breakfast down at Bailey. Bailey it's not expensive, but it adds up. You know what I'm saying? If you spending $10, $15 on breakfast every day, $10 on breakfast every day is adding up if you out there for 5, 6 days. And then you still eating lunch and dinner. And then activities and whatever else. You might want to go to different restaurants and shit like that. So the way these cats is moving, if they staying in these places, it's not like us. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick Lamar said, it's not like us. You know, and I'm not one to film and show everything that goes on when we on these trips. But one thing I am gonna film and show is how we eat. When that table is spread out and we sitting down like gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna see, you're gonna be like, oh shit, these motherfuckers is living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We not eating, like you said, empanadas. You know what I'm saying? Every day.
Yeah.
When we eat empanadas, it's because our cook cooked it as a snack. Here's something to hold you over till lunchtime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100%.
Word
That's
up.
what's up too.
And I mean the spread is breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Yeah.
meal.
Yeah.
Every day we sitting down like kings.
Talk about it.
We need more of that though, games, because we don't have we got a lot of bad images of us overseas. So we need people, you don't gotta be a huge YouTube channel, but showing brothers over there eating, enjoying
Right.
themselves, having a good time, not living up to these stereotypes, that goes a long way.
Yeah. 100%, man.
But you know what? See, here's the thing, Al. Once a lot of these content creators came into the YouTube space and they was traveling during, the lockdown years or what have you, you got to remember the lockdown years was, pretty much a free fall. Like everybody was getting money from the government. Um, everybody was traveling. The number one purchases were lobster tail, Moet, Miami plane tickets, and tickets to Colombia and DR. You know what I'm saying? And they were going for next to nothing. So now when these guys for the first time go to these places and they experience Disneyland, you know, with the mangoes as they call them,
Yeah.
and all this other stuff, they're so gassed up by the activities. When they start doing this YouTube, the only thing they're showing is the activities and what's a part of the activities. You know what I'm saying? They're not showing, you know, they're not showing the rest because they figure, well, nobody's interested in the rest. Nobody's interested in, oh, you went to Christ the Redeemer, or you went to the Sugarloaf Mountain, or you went to San Cristobal Hill, or you went to Hollywood Beach, or whatever. Nobody's interested in that. All they did was exploit. Oh, I had all the women. I had all the women. You know what I'm saying? People was locked down. So what do people do? They turn on the television. They play video games. They listen to music. They're buying stuff. Well, YouTube, the viewership of YouTube went up during the lockdown year. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was watching Red Pill, Kevin Samuels, Greg Adams, and and then all of a sudden the travel space got big. You know what I'm saying? So when you take any of us, you know what I'm saying, you see my pictures on social media when I go to these places. I'm going to all tourism. I'm going to see the architecture. I'm going into El Centro and walking down, which I haven't put that up yet, but even when me and you was hanging, we was at the 5-star. You know what I'm saying? Eating good.
Yep.
What you call it? Had the weather held up that Sunday, we would have been off. We'd have been all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it started to get better late at night. But even some of the vlogs you do, you know what I'm saying? One of the IRLs, you had the subscribers out with y'all in the wee hours of the morning. It was like, yo, look at this ocean, look at this sunrise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to show that. All they want to show is, oh, look at the chicas, look at the mangoes, oh, look at this, da, 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 da. Gans and them, Gans already know. I would have went with them for the 10 days, but I got obligations. I got daddy duties on the weekend. So I told Gans, I said, look, Gans, I'm coming that weekend. What's the day of the retirement party? Tell me the day. This is what we doing then. This is what we doing then. I'm like, all right, cool. It's perfect. I'm only gonna be there for 4 days. You know what I'm saying? So in those 4 days, and I fast. So my first meal doesn't come until after 2:00. So I don't have the breakfast issue. I don't have the lunch issue, and I'll eat maybe twice a day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of
You ain't
course,
gonna be fasting. You ain't gonna be fasting when Ingrid cooking all that food. She gonna be, yo, you gotta eat, man.
yeah, nah. When I pull up on Saturday, because when I fast through the week, I always get an opportunity to have a full day where I could just eat whatever I want. I usually do that when my daughter comes with me because I like to eat breakfast with her. We go out and have sushi or something like that. That's cool. I want to be. But other than that, yeah, like the joint you said that was happening Saturday. Come on, y'all going? I'm pulling up to that, and I'm going to eat all day. You know what I'm saying? But it's just cats to bring it back. Cats just gotta be better prepared when they're going to travel. You know what I'm saying? Cats gotta plan ahead. They gotta plan their budget. You know what I'm saying? When I go to Colombia, I got a regular budget and I got a recreation budget.
Right.
And the recreation budget, I mean, now it's gonna be different as I experience the casas. Once I experience the casas, game over. We don't need the streets no more.
Right.
So,
Right.
but you
Hold
just
on. You
gotta
said the concerts?
casas,
Okay.
CASA. Yeah,
Okay. I
for
was
the
about to
concert.
say, man, Nicky Jam got a concert in Medellin in December.
Yeah, on for their festival of the New
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah, Nicky
Yeah,
Jam gonna be down there, man. So I'm definitely looking at going down there, man. I was just talking to my chick the other day, like, yo, Nicky Jam gonna be there December 20th. She's like, oh, I love Nicky Jam, bitch. I love Nicky Jam. That's my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Reggaeton wise.
play it with a passport. I'm gonna be out there around that time.
Oh, word.
The day after Thanksgiving, I'm flying out, and I
Oh, okay.
might.
Well, his
Well, I'm
concert
only go.
December. How long you
Yeah, I
gonna
ain't
stay
gonna
out
be
there?
there for that. I'm gonna stay in Medellin for 4 days, and I'm gonna go over to Cartagena for another 6 days. Make it
Okay.
10 days.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, 100%.
everywhere I traveled, listen, it hasn't been a 5-day trip. I don't
Yeah,
think since 2018 or 19.
yeah,
Everywhere we go is 10 days and better.
yeah,
So
100%.
when everybody fly down for Flip Flops Halloween party and they there from Thursday to Sunday, the next Thursday roll around, yeah, I'm still here with my feet up on the beach,
Yeah,
or
hundred percent,
my feet up in the lounge chair beside the rooftop jacuzzi.
100%,
You know,
G.
you know what I'm saying? Oh, the next Saturday roll around, damn, Big Gan's still there. Yeah,
Yeah, 100.
I'm still here. You know
Hey,
what I'm
my
saying?
nigga.
Shout out to Razor Rays. Razor Rays, yo, Razor Rays been in Punta Cana going on
Yeah,
3 weeks now. Shout out to him.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He been doing it, man.
he
Hey,
I don't
yo,
think,
extended it, man.
I've never done that long. I've never done that long. 3 weeks?
yo, man.
Wow.
Yo, in the oil field, I schedule. I was on a schedule where I would work. The first schedule I was on, it was you work 6 weeks on, you take 3 weeks off. So I was working 6 weeks and then 3 weeks off. 6 weeks and then three. And then I got another contract, and that schedule was
Mm,
4 weeks on, 2 weeks off, right? And then I got another contract was like, yo, work as long as you want and take off as long as you want. So I rock out for like 6 months and take off 4 months. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm.
So, when you're able to like sink it when you're able to sink your teeth in these places for long periods of time, or even just if you're going back and forth, you know, um, for kind of short periods of time, but if you're going to the same places, man, you can establish yourself. That's what these cats don't understand, G. You know what I'm saying? They act like you got to fucking be down there now, man. If you've been going to the DR, right? You said for what, 13 years?
Mm-hmm.
13 years, homie, you established because you
Yeah,
down there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these cats don't understand, man. And I want to just touch on something, man, that Mr. D was saying. Mr. D, nigga, I 100% with you when it comes to the different type of content. Like the 4 or 5 star restaurants. Like, nigga, I want to see them off. Man, hey, nigga, if I took a camera with me and I just start putting the camera on, man, these different restaurants I'm going to, the different food, I'm about that shit. I
Yeah.
even told Sin City, shout out to Sin City. I like that dude. Plus he from Cincinnati. I'm originally from up north in Ohio. So yeah, man. Cats want to see, well, I know a cat like me, because we grown. What I mean? I'm
Yeah.
45. We all grown. Man,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see, the 5 star restaurants. I want to see what that food looking like. I want to see that
yeah,
shit, homie. I want to see the top notch cigar lounges. Like, nigga, like, yeah, you can, yeah, the bras look good, man. But shit, nigga, what the food? Like, you out the country.
yeah,
So I would
yeah.
definitely be somebody that appreciates that shit for real,
These cats, they
bro.
not showing that. They not showing that in Sasua. 5-star restaurants. We went down there for my birthday. I can't even think of the name. I actually got footage of that. I never posted it to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But we went down there for my birthday. I can't remember the name of the spot. And then there's another restaurant that we went to. You know what I'm saying? There's another all you can eat seafood spot in Puerto Plata. I gotta let my cousin. I gotta actually, yo, Mr. D. I gotta hit Ty up about that because he knows where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gotta hit that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
That part,
It,
that
these
that
cats,
joint.
they don't show that. All they want to show is the chicks. I'm doing gymnastics. Listen, we don't need to know that you doing gymnastics. You want to know why? Because we know what goes on down there.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that,
yeah.
and again, that's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Explore the culture. Listen, I'm not getting on no. If red light is what you want to do, by all means, do red light. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not going to shy away from red light. I just moved up levels. Like I'm not in the
Talk
streets.
about it. Talk
You know what
about
I'm
it,
saying?
Mr. D.
I'm going to the casa.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And if I don't go to the casa, I'm going to the strip club.
Talk
Because
about it.
strip clubs out of America is a whole totally different ball game. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna get exactly what you want. Nobody's gonna be in there trying to do no BS. None of that. There's too much on the line for them to do anything crazy. They're not trying to mess up. You're not trying to mess up that currency. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have none of those problems. Listen, dude, I forgot how it was brought up, but I think somebody was talking about being in the streets at 4 o'clock in the morning. Nah, I'm in the bed, yo.
Word.
I'm knocked out.
Yeah, for real, homeboy.
As a matter of
People,
fact,
hey,
it was in the chat the other night. I think it was in the chat the other night. And me and I forget the brother. We was both Lord Flexico. We was like, yo, we in the bed.
Yeah, club bed.
We not in the streets, man.
Club bed.
Club
Yeah.
bed.
Club
like
dreams.
that.
Mr. D, us being from New York, you know, we know the clubs didn't close till 5, 6 in the morning, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
But then when you go to these other cities, the club closed at 2 in the morning. You know why? Because they know most of the people that's coming to their club gonna get what they gotta get and go home and do their thing by 2 in the morning. 9 times out of 10, they in bed by 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
What did Jay say? What your man Jay-Z say? He was like, yeah, met her at like what, 2 by 2:15. I'll be kicking her out.
Yep.
Yeah. Facts.
Real talk, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was in Cali. There was only 2 nights. And they both was nights that I went to the Petronio Alvarez Festival. It was only 2 nights that I stayed out beyond 12 o'clock. And that was I think the first night that I was there and the last night of the festival. That was it. Every other night, I was in the crib like 9, 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Flyboy. He was out there and they was hitting the streets. You know what I'm saying? Which one night I wanted to go out to this part, I think it's close to their El Centro, where the street just be covered with people partying all night. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it was like, yo, all the walking, all the stuff that I did, man, like, yo, that stuff tire you out. And you know, I ain't got these young legs and that young energy no more, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
like,
yeah.
Sun up to sun down.
We come from the era, man. I know you and Gaines is older than me, right? But y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Homeboy, the bullshit was popping off late at night. You know what I mean? The bullshit was popping off late at night, man. Because I know y'all 80s babies, right? Y'all was coming up in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I came up in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So I was catching the flack of the 80s. You know what I mean? And so the bullshit was happening late at night. But I also think, y'all, that's a maturity thing. You know what I mean? And like I've always said, I'm sure, Gaines, I'm sure you've heard me say this. There's no reason why you should be the same traveler that you was the first time you traveled today. You shouldn't be the same traveler because your experience is different and you didn't grown as a person, you didn't grown as a traveler. You know what I mean? Like you might go out and you might kick it and stay out, blah, blah, blah. But man, there come a point where you like, yo, man, like I can kick it at the crib. Like, yo, I can take this back to the crib and I can kick it. I can set the environment up in my crib to where it feels like we out at the bar, we out at the cigar lounge.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I can set the whole tone.
Listen, when we come down to wherever we going, whether it be DR, Colombia, wherever we traveling to, we bringing enough liquor. We don't need to drink outside of the crib. Because first of all, it's mandatory. Everybody on my trip, everybody that's flying with us, you go into duty free, you getting 2 bottles. You cannot enter the house, you can't check into the house without 2 bottles. So listen, yeah, go over there, go in duty free, get you 2 bottles. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you drink, because the first thing we do when we checking into the house, we taking a picture of the countertop with all the liquor on it. You know what I'm saying? So we got enough liquor. We ain't gotta drink outside. You know what I'm saying? So all that scoping and shit that happened in Medellin and all of that, it ain't happening to us.
Right.
Because we got our liquor, and I don't need you to make me a drink. I'll make my own drink.
Talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it, man. You know, that shit hits different, man, when you can set the tone, man. You
Yeah.
know, I come from the romance era. I come from H-Town, Jodeci,
Mm-hmm.
Mint Condition. So I know how to set
Mm-hmm.
the vibe in my crib, homie. I know how to set
Mm-hmm.
the vibe and set the tone to where everyone's comfortable, no one's feeling no kind of way. Everybody's just cooling, man. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of cats, man, that's traveling, you know, they're so used to entertaining themselves by going out to places, which is cool. You know, they think that they got to go to a bar all the time. They got to go to a club all the time. Look, man, you can go up in there. You can check into the club for a little bit, man. You know, do what you need to do, snatch up what you need to snatch up. Then you can take that same vibe back to your crib because you know how to set the tone, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to the 90s. You know what I mean? Because, yo,
Word.
again, we romance them.
Because these cats, listen, in Sin City, shout out to him. He said it the other, I think he said it. Somebody said it, but it was on his channel. Jay Rello, you wouldn't have had those problems. Instead of giving the chick the Moet, pop the bottle and pour 2 classes. Set the mode. You know, set the mood. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have had those problems. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you want to jimmy down the price. Say, oh, I give you 140, and then I give you the bottle of Moet.
That's
Nigga,
the problem, Gaines.
had you popped that bottle and set the tone, you probably would have ended up giving her 80.
Man, ain't that
See,
what I
And
was
I
talking
land my
about?
plane right there.
Yeah.
see. Let me tell you what and what they was talking about, and I agree with Sin on a couple of the points. He was like, "Yo, why would you?" I brought it up in the chat. I said, "Niggas is itemizing. Like, come on, that's corny." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You getting you now. I'll tell you like this, and I said it so many times. Al, Steve, Mintuition. My first trip was Raggedy. I watched them, and then when I left, I took all the notes that I got from their earlier streams and videos, and they was putting together Medellin, but they had Cartagena. So I was like, all right, I believe that it pretty much runs the same across the board. It's probably just different women, whatever the case may be. So, like you said, player, we had that 90s Jodeci, H-Town, all that, right?
Yeah.
So I still to this day make slow music playlists. I used to make slow music tapes, slow music CDs. I used to, people used to request for me to do it, whatever. So the
100%.
last time we was in Medellin, I told dudes, I said, now I'm better prepared. Like as soon as we get there, we stayed in the Europa. There's a liquor store right across the street from the Europa. I went in that liquor store. Now I don't drink. I bought like probably $150 worth of liquor. Liquor, beer, Smirnoff Ice, all these different things, right? Steve talked about it in the video. I made sure I had all this stuff in my notes. Like, yo, we gonna do it like this.
That's game,
So
homie.
now,
Say that
so
again.
now
You had it in your notes. That's
I
game.
had it in my notes, bro. And every time I did something, I was crossing it off, right? So they give us they upgraded us to the penthouse on the top, right? In there was a Bluetooth speaker. I already know my boy ain't using that shit. He's a gadget guy, but he ain't into that shit. So I took the Bluetooth speaker, put that shit in my bedroom, and at all times when I wasn't watching any TV, there's a channel that I subscribe to on YouTube that shows a fireplace.
Ooh, I like
Any
that.
broad. Yo, listen, any broad that before they even got there, already in my room, you got the Smirnoff Ice, you got their beer, you got the liquor, you got the glass, you got the opener, you got everything there ready for them. And what I used to do is, because all my shit was in the safe, whatever they charge me, I put it in the back of a book because I know nobody's gonna look at a fucking book. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I had it in the back of the book, whatever I agreed to with them. So when they came, I was like, "You want something to drink?" They would, go for the Coronas. Some of them went for the Smirnoff Ice. Boom, controlled in that. Soon as like, all right, we ready? They telling me this. The fireplace is already on. The lights is dim, and I got all the baddest slow joints coming on. They don't even care that they don't
Yeah.
understand what anybody's saying. But I
Yeah.
set the tone, I set the mood, and you know what happened after that? They
Talk
stay
about
with
it.
me for an extra hour, 2 hours.
Homeboy, that's straight
Tell
game.
Yep.
Mhm.
Come on.
That's the
Mhm.
way you got to do
Mhm.
it, man.
Yeah.
They ain't watching the clock if your place is nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to stay there. I had chicks that you pay for an hour, but can I stay the night? You got the
Mhm.
jacuzzi. I want to get in the jacuzzi. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, man, that makes a whole world of a difference when you have a
And,
nice place, when you know how to treat them and
Right.
give them this nice experience. They're gonna want to stay.
mhm.
Yeah.
But
And try
fellas, I,
try a
I
little
gotta
try
run
Key
though.
something
word right
small.
there, International Al. They gonna want to stay.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? You can
Yeah.
even try something as small as scented candles.
Yeah.
That too. That too.
Facts.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir. I gotta
Hey,
run
listen.
though, fellas. I gotta we about to do a show in a second.
Yeah,
Steve
yeah,
All
told
yeah.
right.
me to tell y'all what's up. He wanted to hop on, but he's finishing up this Cartagena 102. We doing the updated Cartagena, about to drop that either tonight or tomorrow. But
Mhm.
he's putting the final touches on that. But he told me to tell you what's up.
Okay.
Okay. 10,
But
Shout out.
10 o'clock, right?
I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to shut it down anyway. I wanted to rock for an hour, but that's what
Okay.
it was. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing the lives over here on the Keeping It Gangster channel. So it goes out. Subscribe, like the channel, all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
y'all got
nah.
any last words?
Appreciate you for having me on, man. You a friend of the channel. You hop on anytime you want to. If you want to promote your show, you can come on and promote it. Whatever you want to do, you good in my books. And yeah, man, I I had a good time. It was good seeing a player with a passport. Shout out to
Oh,
Razor
yeah.
Rays in the
Raise the
chat.
raise, salute.
Yes,
Shout out to
sir.
Razor.
But yeah, guys, be safe out there, fellas. I know the suit for Halloween is gonna be a movie. I know there's gonna be a great time. Me and Steve might pull up. We're still checking on that. We might make an appearance. Not 100% sure yet, but we'll see what happens.
Yo, listen. Just to let you know, if Gans didn't let you know already, his retirement parties are all white affair.
All
No,
right.
I
that
like
that
that.
that's at the club. That's at
What's the spot?
yeah. What the hell is the name of the club? See, that's that old man shit happening.
100%. 100%.
Word. I can't even think of the name.
I'm gonna
I
let you
promote it
know.
though. I'm gonna promote it. I'm gonna promote it later. But the club over in Puerto Plata. Everybody know the club in Puerto Plata across the street from the airport.
Well, hit
Okay.
me up. Well, I'll hit y'all if I pull up, and I'll definitely try to make it out to the party too, and all that stuff, man. But yeah, man, I'm happy for you. Congratulations. And yeah,
Thank
man,
you.
put that, like I said, put all that eating on the channel. Put all
Yeah.
all of the good stuff.
Of
Let's
course.
show us in a good light out there. And yeah, man, it's good to join panels like this instead of. I don't mind getting into fuckery sometimes, but if I have to, but I'd rather have progressive conversations. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Well, it's gonna be some fuckery on this channel because I'm gonna call out a lot of shit. And like I said, the ladies aren't immune to this shit. Y'all gonna catch
Yeah.
it. But y'all dudes
Yeah.
with the bullshit that's going on right now, y'all catching it right now.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Razor
Cool,
Rays,
man.
let me salute to you, Razor. Yo, 3 weeks, 3 weeks out of the country.
Yeah.
The most I ever did was 15 days. 3 weeks, yo, I gotta salute you on that, brother. Word.
Yo, when Razor come back, he gonna be fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? The longer you
Yo, he
spend out
don't
the
want to come
country,
back to
man.
New
Yo, he
Yo,
don't
he
wanna
was
come
talking
back.
about it on his live today. He don't want to come back to New York. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Yo,
I've
he's
been
chilling.
trying to get out of this rat hole city for fucking 20 years.
Yeah. 100%.
Word.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but
Getting
that's
out.
what it is. Yo, I'm about to shut it down. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank everybody for pulling up. I want to thank everybody who watched. Thank everybody who will watch. Thank everybody who pulled up in the chat. All that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try and do a weekly stream from this channel, different topics. You know what I'm saying? My other channel is really not a motorcycle. It's not a motorcycle channel, even though I've been doing motorcycle content. It's a lifestyle channel. You know what I'm saying? But I've been on the motorcycle all summer. Me and my cousin said, yo, we riding hard this summer. You know what I'm saying? So I put my travel shit on hold. I ain't been nowhere since Cuba, even though I wanted to go a couple places, a couple of family obligations or whatever kept me from doing that. But October starts that off. So I'm going to be showing a lot of that. My motorcycle subscribers going to be mad when they see me switch over to the travel shit. But like I said, it's a lifestyle channel. It's not really a motorcycle channel. It's my lifestyle. It's me showing what I'm doing, how I'm moving out here in these streets, in these cities, in these countries. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
100%.
that's a fact.
100%, man. Hey, we know you a traveler. We know you
Yeah.
travel. You know what I'm saying? And Cassius got to understand, man. Just because you travel don't mean that you ain't living in the States. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all having
So
me on
yeah.
the panel, man.
You
Yeah.
already,
So
man.
yeah. Word up. So I'm gonna shut it down right now. You know what I'm saying? And I got this Kachava. For anybody who you trying to lose some weight or whatever. I don't know what I did with the bag. Wanted to show everybody what it was. I think I put it by the toast oven. But anyway, I got this Kachava. It's a protein mix. Mix it in with some water. I'm gonna chop up some fruit and put it in there. Drink that. That's my dinner for the night. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to drop another 15 pounds before I get on that plane. To the soup. But that's
Health
what it
is
is.
wealth, baby.
Word up.
Yeah,
But that's what it
looking
is.
good, Trent.
We're going to shut it down right now. Thanks for y'all for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to this channel. We're going to make it pop. And that's what it is. Keeping it
100%.
gangster. Mr. D, player with a passport. International Al, Mentuition, Razor Rays. Salute. I'm out.
Peace.